By day, I'm a mild-mannered accountant, but my friends say, by night, I'm the she-wolf of Wall Street. Hi, and welcome to my channel. This is the first Call Girls Investment Club video, and I thought it would be appropriate to conduct the emergency meeting of the Call Girls by showing you where I trade my stocks every day at 5:30 in the morning. The reason we're called the Call Girls Investment Club is not because we're hookers. I'm in bed not because I'm a hooker, but because this is where I do all my work at 5:45 in the morning. I wake up every day, I listen to CNBC with my headphones on, I study the stock charts, and I just try to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on. But the reason we're called the Call Girls Investment Club is because we trade call options. We buy naked calls. And the reason I'm called Tesla Chick is I made $673,000 a couple years ago trading Tesla options when they were about to come out with the Model 3. And that was one of the first times I traded options, but I knew the math and I knew it was going to reach a certain point in price. Well, the reason I'm calling an emergency meeting of the Call Girls Investment Club is, whoops, I did it again. So everybody knows, everybody who's following the stock market knows that Tesla's doing really well right now. I decided I was very, very conservative for the last 3 months. And for me, I wasn't conservative by most standards, but I've been trading Tesla options. I sold my house and I got the money in October, late October. I was really aggravated because I was trying to get the closing done by a certain date. I noticed Tesla was trading for $240 a share and I really wanted to get in. And I didn't get the money at the time I wanted. I got in when it was about $313. And for those of you who don't know what options are, I'm just going to explain really quick why they're so lucrative. Because I want you guys to be able to, this is what we've been training for, you know. I started the Call Girls Club like 2 or 3 years ago, try to get you guys aware of like how options work, so that when there's an opportunity, then you can take advantage of it. And maybe you only have $10,000 to invest, but I'd really like to see my friends benefit the way I did from options. Although I guess I have to say something like a disclaimer that you're responsible for your own finances and don't blame me if you lose money, right? So anyway, if a stock goes from say 300 to 550, like Tesla's done in the last couple months, it's at 580 right now, but I'm just rounding off to the nearest 50. So that's $250. That's almost 100% profit. Let's say a stock goes up $250 and it doubles in price. If you buy $10,000 worth of stock at that price, you'd only get to buy about 400 shares. I think that's right. But if you buy options, you can buy them for about a tenth of the price. Say you're going to buy 90-day options. They were going for about 1/10 the price of the stock at that time, about $24. So you could buy 10 times as much. So as the stock goes up $250 and you have 400 shares, maybe you're going to make $10,000. But if you buy options, maybe you're going to make $100,000 off the same investment. So that's kind of the gist of why I'm trading options. Well, day before yesterday, I went really heavy into Tesla because I had doubled my money. I actually made 96% since I started trading, and I had been so conservative. I had bought little tiny chunks of options and kept most of my money in cash because I was just so paranoid that this was the last of my money that I was going to have, so I really couldn't afford to lose it. Well, now I've doubled my money. I decided, I'm just going to take all those profits and get heavy into Tesla. So I did that a couple days ago, and of course we had two 8% days. Actually, today ended on a 4% raise, but at one point today I was up so much money, I just, I'm kind of used to it now actually, so I wasn't like nauseous or anything like I was the first time I made so much money on Tesla, but it went back down, and of course I held it because I totally have faith in my thesis, which actually, remember that article I wrote like 2013 about Tesla? Wall Street has just caught on to all those concepts. Apparently Jim Cramer never drove a Tesla until like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and he was talking about that, and I'm really shocked because this guy has been talking about Tesla for like years, and he never experienced the car. I mean, I'm sorry, Elon Musk, if you had just let Jim Cramer drive a Tesla, I guess people in New York don't drive, but if you would have figured this out and given him a test drive like 3 or 4 years ago, you would have no problems. You would not have any problems with those short sellers because Jim Cramer would have been on board. But I guess New Yorkers are really a couple years behind the times when it comes to automobiles because they live in a town that doesn't have cars. You know, they use subways. So they figured it out, finally. So tonight, Jim Cramer does this big expose on Tesla and talks about it being a tech company and not an automotive company, which is what all the Tesla fans have been saying for years. So, yeah. Anyway, he thinks it's going to have a lot of more room to run, which I'm really glad he said it, because you can make money off a stock if it's a good company, only if Wall Street grasps that it's a good company, you know, and they finally are starting to get it. So the reason I believe Tesla will have a lot more room to run is I kind of compared it to Amazon, a lot of people did. And when you look, people say, oh, a parabolic move can't continue. Well, if you look at Amazon, the parabolic move continued for 1 to 3 years after it started. And also another thing is, when you see a parabolic move in a chart, a stock chart, the chart is a relative thing that somebody has put together, and they've decided how large to make the parameters. So if you simply change the time span, it becomes not a parabolic move. Or if you shorten the axes, you know, depending on what your perspective is. Well, once Amazon did this parabolic move, they had to stretch out the chart, and all of a sudden it doesn't look like a parabolic move anymore. You know, it's like whatever. So Amazon went up quite a bit. I think it was 1,000% in 3 years. I can't remember, but Tesla's just started, I believe. So I feel like this is a generational opportunity, and this is kind of what we trained for when I was educating you guys all about trading options and how they work in my Facebook club, which I'm not really doing anymore. I'm doing more YouTube videos now, but I just wanted to say that I feel like this opportunity isn't over, and if you feel like dabbling again in options, this would be a good one because the options have not outpaced the potential of the stock price, I don't think. So hopefully we'll all get a little money out of this still. Ironically, there was a article released tonight on Motley Fool that said, is Tesla a millionaire making stock? And it's like, he's taking $10,000 and saying, what if you invested it at $17 a share and now it's trading at $580? Well, that's stock trading. It's obviously a millionaire making stock. I just made $500,000 in the last 2 months. So, and I hardly had anything to start with. So it's obviously a millionaire making stock if you're trading options. So good luck to you guys, and thanks for joining me for the Call Girls emergency meeting on Tesla. Also, one more thing. I just want to give a little heads up. American Express is reporting their earnings in about 24 hours, 36 hours. And I got this vibe like something's going to happen with them. I don't know. Could be totally wrong. This is not a sure thing, but I just have this feeling because they're really popular in China. So is Costco, by the way, but they don't report till March 5th. But American Express is super, super popular in China. And I got this feeling like if China's opening up the floodgates for financial institutions, I got this feeling like maybe American Express might announce something in 36 hours. So I just bought some of their options for their earnings report just in case. Didn't buy a ton, but I just want to be involved if that turns out to be true. So good night.